The Drama Nine Puzzle is not just a crime thriller filled with intrigue and investigations, it's a deep, multi-layered story about the pain of the past, inner struggle, and the search for a truth that has the power to change everything. At the center of the narrative is the mysterious and extraordinary hero and Cho Yi Na, who possesses phenomenal analytical skills and an almost supernatural intuition for crime. Her sharp mind and keen instincts make her a vital part of the forensic bureau. But behind this professionalism lies a tragedy that has defined her life. 10 years ago, Yi Na lived through a nightmare: the brutal murder of her parents, uncle, and a close friend. At the time, she was the sole witness and simultaneously the main suspect. Although her guilt was never proven, the stain of suspicion remained. The emotional trauma, the burden of guilt, and the inability to forget those events became the foundation of her professional path through solving crimes. She seems to be trying to make sense of her own tragedy, to find lost peace and perhaps forgiveness. The drama skillfully balances between emotional depth and thriller intensity. Yi Na's work at the Forensic Bureau is far from just a backdrop. Each episode is filled with the tense atmosphere of solving new crimes, while also revealing the inner struggles of the characters. Special attention is given to the process of analysis, allowing the viewer not just to observe but to emotionally engage in the investigations. Yi Na's unique approach lies in her uncanny ability to sense the very essence of a crime: guilt, fear, motivation. This is not portrayed as mysticism, but rather as a reflection of her deeply traumatized psyche, which has adapted to see what others cannot. A key figure in the narrative is Han Sim, a detective with a laid-back demeanor that conceals sharp intellect and relentless determination. He was in charge of the murder case from 10 years ago, and it was he who doubted Yi Na's innocence. These doubts tainted their relationship, making their interactions strained and complex. Now fate has brought them back together, reopening old wounds. Their dynamic is more than just professional collaboration, it is charged with constant underlying tension, where every glance and every word may carry hidden meanings. The relationship between Yi Na and Han Sim stands as one of the central points of tension in the drama. As new investigations force them to revisit the past, a fragile and complicated bridge of trust slowly begins to form between them. Both characters find themselves on the edge, torn between professional duty and personal feelings, between the pursuit of truth and the fear of confronting it. The secondary storylines are skillfully woven into the main fabric of the narrative. They not only expand the world of the drama but also deepen its emotional resonance. The stories of other forensic team members, victims' families, and ordinary people affected by tragedy allow the viewer to feel the overarching theme: a crime is always more than just a fact, it leaves a lasting mark on many lives. As Yi Na works on new cases, she constantly returns to her own pain, unconsciously comparing others' tragedies to her own. One of the drama's greatest strengths lies in its atmosphere. The visual style is restrained, dominated by cool tones that underscore the overall psychological mood. The soundtrack is subtle yet effectively highlights dramatic moments. The pacing is carefully calibrated, neither too fast nor too slow, allowing the viewer to absorb the details, feel the underlying tension, and delve into the complexities of the characters. Ninth Puzzle is more than a typical detective drama. It is a psychological portrait of a person trying to rediscover herself after a tragedy, a story about forgiveness, guilt, mistrust, and the strength to move forward. Powerful performances, a thoughtful script,